exciting Mandarin language study program for you. At the end of the program, you will have the ability to speak basic Mandarin for use in everyday situations. We hope you'll have fun learning it. I'd like to introduce our Chinese language instructor, Ms. Xiaoning Karen Shi. Karen is a highly qualified instructor with expert knowledge in Chinese language and literature. She will help us understand basic Chinese pronunciation and also introduce us to some everyday practical conversations.
Thank you very much for your welcome, Stephen. 谢谢, as we say in Chinese. Let's learn Mandarin together. Our program are divided 10 episodes with 2 parts to each episode.
Part 1 covers basic Mandarin phonetics pronunciation. Part 2 is a practice conversation using everyday situations. After we finish our program...
Sorry.
Okay. Hi everyone. We have an exciting Mandarin language program to offer you. At the end of our program, you'll be able to speak basic Mandarin for everyday situations. We hope you'll have fun learning it. I'd like to introduce you to our Chinese language instructor, Ms. Xiaoning Karen Shi. Karen is a highly qualified instructor with expertise in Chinese language and literature. She will help us understand basic Chinese pronunciation and also introduce us to some everyday practical conversations.
Thank you very much for your warm welcome, Stephen. 谢谢, as we say in Chinese. Let's learn Mandarin together. Our program have 10 episodes with 2 parts to each episode.
Part 1 covers basic Mandarin phonetics pronunciation. Part 2 is a practice conversation using everyday situations. After we finish our program, we will understand the Chinese phonetics system and be able to pronounce any Chinese syllable.
So, Stephen, before our program, let me ask you questions. Why do you want to learn Mandarin?
Well, I want to meet more Chinese friends here, and I'm also involved in many opportunities between China and Canada.
Some students also tell me they're eager to make girlfriends and boyfriends.
Well, that's an excellent reason to learn Mandarin. Anyway, Karen, where do we start if we want to learn Mandarin?
We're going to practicing how to pronounce Mandarin phonetics.
I heard that in the Chinese written system, the characters originally came from pictures. Can you show us an example of a Chinese character?
Sure. This is the characters means to stop. We can see from the footprint to it is written today.
Every character is a syllable by itself in the Chinese language. In Mandarin, every syllable consists of a final, which is a vowel or a compound vowel, preceded by an initial, which is a consonant.
Also, each syllable have its distinct tones.
How many tones are there in Mandarin?
There are 5 tones in Mandarin. The first, second, third, and fourth. They are the ma,
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 ma.
ma.
Also, we have the 5th tone is the neutral tone, like the 爸爸,
Baba,
妈妈,
mama,
弟弟,
didi,
哥哥.
guga. The neutral tone always occurs when some syllables are preceded by others, and thus they lose their original tones and are spoken very softly and short.
And also, tones always the most difficult part when the Western people learn Mandarin. Stephen, today we are going to learn some consonants and initials. There are 20,
How many tones are there in Mandarin?
There are 5 tones in Mandarin. The first, second, third, and fourth. This is the ma,
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 ma.
ma. Ma, 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 ma. They all sound the same to me. It sounds more like music than language.
Yeah. The 5th tone is neutral tone. Like 爸爸,
Baba,
妈妈,
mama,
弟弟,
didi,
哥哥.
guga. The neutral tone always occurs when some syllables are preceded by others, and thus they lose their original tones and are spoken very softly and short.
Actually, the tones always the most difficult part for Western people to learn Mandarin. So, Stephen, today we are going to learn some consonants and vowels. There are total 21 consonants or initials in Mandarin, and this is the O. But today, we just learn 11 initials.
It's the same as the alphabet in English.
Yes, but the pronunciation is quite different. We pronounce like the bo,
Bo,
po,
ho,
mo,
mo,
fo,
fo,
de,
de,
te,
te,
ne,
ne,
le,
le,
ge,
ge,
ke,
ke,
he.
he.
Now we move to the finals. We have total 35 finals in Mandarin. Today we are going to learn the first 6 single finals. So they are the a,
A,
o,
o,
e,
e,
i,
i,
u,
u,
ü.
u. Actually, there's no u sound in English.
Yes, there is. But when we pronounce ü sound, we always the same as the first syllable in unique or useless in English. But we need to keep our lips rounded. So ü.
U,
Okay, by the way, when we pronounce o, u, and ü, we all need to keep our lips rounded. Now we move to the syllable. One initial plus a final, we give a syllable in Mandarin. Like the bo, we plus the a, we give the syllable of ba.
but it is still not a whole syllable. We must put one of the 4 tones on the top of the final. For example, ma. When we place different tone marks on the top, it changes the meaning of the word. We are going to learn this in the next lesson.
So now, let's we practice some initial and final syllables. Ba,
Ba,
po,
po,
mi,
mi,
fu,
fu,
de,
de,
ti,
ti,
na,
na,
lü,
lu,
ga,
ga,
ke,
ke,
hu.
hu.
Finish.
So Karen, when we first meet somebody in English, we'll say hi or hello or how are you doing? What do we say to greet people in Mandarin?
Mandarin always say 你好.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
你好.
Yeah. 你 means you. 好 means good. So 你好 means how are you?
Okay. So it's 你好.
Yeah.
你好.
Yeah. Also, after the greeting, we always give our names.
Okay.
Yeah. Like here, in English, I would say, I'm 小宁石. But in Mandarin, I would say, 我是石小宁.
Okay. Now I noticed that you are putting your surname before your given name. Is that the usual way of doing it with Chinese names?
Sure. In China, when we made our names, we always give our surname first and then the given name. Like
Okay.
here, yeah, this is different from English.
Okay. So my name is Stephen Vance. So I would say 我是 Vance Stephen. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So here, 我 means I, and 是 means to be.
Okay. 你好,我是 Vance Stephen.
Yeah.
Now in English, we also will often just use our first name in a casual situation. We'll just say something like, hi, I'm Stephen. Is that something you can do in Mandarin as well?
No, in Mandarin, we always say the whole name, like whole name in introduction. But now in West country, so many Chinese, they adopt English name as first name. So we can say like you do in English.
Right.
So I say, 你好, 我是 Karen.
Okay, so I would say 你好,我是 Stephen.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, let's do some practice. 你好, 我是 Karen.
你好,我是 Stephen.
你好, 我是 Karen.
你好,我是 Stephen.
That's it for today's lesson. See you next lesson.
By the way, how do we say goodbye or see you later in Chinese?
It's 再见.
再见. 再见.
再见.
再见.